Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty cool, a source that breaks down how you can actually earn money online every single day with nothing more than your phone. All right, let's just jump right in with a question for you. Are you on the lookout for a smart side hustle? Something that actually fits your schedule?
So here's the big idea, and it's a pretty compelling one. What if you could get paid daily for something you probably already do for free, just leaving comments online?
So what's the deal here? Well, at its heart, it's this promise of turning those tiny clicks and comments, stuff you do without thinking, into a real, consistent daily stream of cash.
And this whole world of opportunity, it lives inside something called microtasks and get paid to platforms. You might see them called GPT for short. Basically, these are websites and apps that reward you for doing simple online activities like commenting, reading stuff, or clicking on things. So you might be thinking, who is this actually for? Well, it's pretty much designed for anyone with a busy schedule. We're talking students trying to earn between classes, hustlers juggling multiple projects, or really anyone, especially in Nigeria and across Africa, who needs an income stream that works for them, not against them.
Okay, let's tackle the big question, right? Why would anyone pay you just for leaving a comment? I mean, it sounds a little too good to be true, but there's actually some solid logic behind the whole thing.
Think of these get-paid-to platforms as like a digital middleman. You've got companies on one side who desperately need real human interactions for things like market research. And on the other side, you've got people like you and me who are willing to give them that interaction for a small reward. These platforms, they just connect the dots.
Yeah, that's right. Your comments, the ones you're already making, are actually a valuable commodity. Companies are paying for them to figure out what people want, to make their content look more popular, and to get honest feedback. For them, it's a super cost-effective way to build what's called social proof.
All right, so we get the why now. Let's move on to the how, because the source we're looking at lays out a really clear action plan to get you started, like right now, today.
It really breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you've got to choose your platform, and doing a little homework to find trusted ones is super important. Second, you just start doing the tasks, focusing on commenting on blogs or social media. And third, you get paid. The big appeal here is the speed. A lot of these platforms are built for daily cash outs, so you're not waiting weeks for your money. And you've got options for sure. There are local sites in Nigeria like OwoDaily, which are designed for super fast 24-hour withdrawals. Then you've got the global players like TimeBucks that have all sorts of different tasks. And there are even these really specific niche gigs like the Study.com Ambassador program that pay for very particular types of comments.
And just to put a number on it, that Study.com gig we just mentioned, we're talking around $6 for just one quality comment. Now for a microtask, that's actually a pretty big deal.
And look, this isn't just marketing speak from the platforms themselves. You can find real users on forums like Reddit who are breaking down the math. They'll show you how it works. Each post equals 20 points, 1,000 points equals $1. These little rewards, they really do add up until, boom, you hit that minimum cash out and the money's in your account.
Okay, so you're in, you've started. What's next? Well, now it's about working smarter, not just harder. And the source material has some great tips on how to really maximize what you're earning each day.
This is where a little bit of strategy goes a long way. First, be consistent. A lot of these sites have daily login or streak bonuses. Don't leave that free money on the table. Second, use a few different platforms. That way, if one is slow, you've still got others to work on. And this is a big one. Focus on quality over quantity. Better comments often lead to better paying gigs.
And finally, the last piece of the puzzle, getting paid. You want to do this smartly. To avoid crazy fees or waiting forever for a bank transfer, digital wallets are the way to go. Things like PayPal and Payoneer are great globally. But there are also fantastic local options like Chipper Cash or Barter that are perfect for getting your cash fast in places like Nigeria.
So we've looked at the promise, the logic behind it, the action plan, and some pro tips to boost your earnings. Which brings us to the big question, right? Is this actually the right side hustle for you?
So, what's the bottom line? Well, the general take is that this is a totally legitimate way to turn those little pockets of dead time into actual money. We're talking about your commute, the time you spend waiting in line, those few minutes before you go to sleep. Look, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's a super flexible way to make your downtime productive. And that leaves us with one final thought, really a question for you to consider. With just your phone, a little bit of consistency, and finding the right platforms, could something as simple as leaving comments actually become your new favorite side hustle?